the absolute most often heard complaint that I hear from caregivers is that they're overwhelmed. I'm going to start a series of shorts that are based on overwhelm, but it's going to be focused on neuroscience, and it's going to be generally about overwhelm, and then with some specific things that overwhelm has to do with caregiving. And today we're going to start with overwhelm generally and what happens from a neuroscience perspective. Overwhelm actually happens when the amount of input that we're getting into our brain exceeds the amount of energy that our brain has to process it all. All of our brains have a certain amount of energy that we can use to make decisions, to process information, to help to regulate our emotions. And when our brain exceeds that ability to manage the amount of information that's coming at us, it shifts from being able to solve problems and do all of those things to survival, to protection. And that's why when we feel overwhelmed, whether it's generally in life or whether it's specific to caregiving, that's why we do things like snap at our parents or have trouble making the simplest decisions, or you zone out, or you freeze and you just spend a lot of time kind of doing mindless things because you're trying to figure out how to give your brain a break. Your brain is basically saying, look, I'm done here. I'm going to reallocate my energy to survival. So then you take the neuroscience of how our brain uses its energy, you drop it into caregiving, where you're caregiving for your parent. And now you're not just managing your own life, you're managing someone else's life. You're managing their emotions, you're managing their survival, and you're managing your own guilt, your own fear about what's going on. And also, if you're a caregiver to your parent, you're managing your own identity and some of the stuff that comes up that's related to your own identity. And all of those things are competing for the same limited bandwidth that our brain has. You ease it by getting clear on what those biggest issues are that are causing so much bandwidth to have to be used. You fix it by redesigning the system. That might mean that you have to do things within the caregiving system differently, by creating space so that your brain and your body can recover. So if you are feeling totally overwhelmed as a caregiver, I've designed a 5-day free Overcoming Overwhelm challenge for caregivers. And it's super easy because it's only one short video every day that you can watch in your own time. The link to it's in the comments below.